Okay, here let's quickly dive into our Photoshop interface. So here, as you can see, like in menu on the top, we have menu panel, like as in other different programs like file, edit, image, layer, type, selection, and so on and so on. We will discuss them on our practice lessons more. But on the left side here, what you can see, it's a panel of instruments. So here, like each instrument, we can use as a different tool that we can use, make for our editing, image manipulation, image editing. And each instrument here, again, we will discuss them mostly on our practice, and I'll show you how they work, what will happen when you push this button and use this instrument. But mostly, all of the instruments we have on the left side, they have some special, more advanced settings on the top under the menu. So for example, here right now is just a stamp tool, and all of the properties of this stamp tool we can see under the menu. Here, like additional panels on the right side, main panel, and we can add some additional panels on this side. Basically, for example, like here, like history, all of the details, all of the manipulation that we will use, it will appear here. Clone source, like again, more additional information here is shown, but also details we can use like as separate panel. We can show it through this element. And here, one of the important tool is layers, because Photoshop is layer-based tool. Instrument program, we can see some elements here on the side of right bottom side. We can work with these different layers that will work for Photoshop. Here are like libraries, adjustments, swatches, colors, all of them like additional panels that we can turn on through window menu bar and add some additional tools that we will use for our Photoshop key elements. But mostly when you open Photoshop, when you start this program, you will see this interface, and in the middle, like the list panel with which you will start to work, just the host. And there you can create your different, again, imaginary, 3D, 2D, and so on and so on, like just through this element. So here, again, we will discuss each of this panel, each of this instrument later on our practice. But as you can see, we worked previously with Adobe Lightroom. You on your course of cinematography, you work with Premiere Pro, and mostly interface are similar to in all Adobe ecosystem programs. And here, what you can see, again, even like some elements are similar to previous. For example, in Adobe Photoshop, we have through window, we have different workspaces. I will show you on our practice course. So when you open Windows panel, window panel, and you can change workspaces to drawing, to 3D creation, to color correction. And there, like when you turn on color correction panel workspace, you will see that it's similar as it's in our Lightroom software. And almost like all of the elements and instruments that you used for Adobe Lightroom, they will be the same here in Photoshop. Why? Because all of these programs are Adobe from the Adobe company. It's like the same ecosystem. And because of it, you can export, import all of the elements, all of the settings through this between these applications. So are of them convertible, applicable, workable in different, for example, if you will work in Photoshop, then you can export, for example, to Premiere Pro, and there you will be able to work with different layers of your imagery. Okay, so here like basic instrument, basic top of Photoshop. Again, I will show all of the elements on our practice hours, but for Photoshop here, different tools are for different elements, like layer creation, layer visibility that we discussed in interface of the program. You'll be able to change them one to another, depend on what you need, depend on with which instrument you work and what kind of project you have, depend on media. So for assignments, for example, we have like poster creation, image retouching, we will work with them also, like retouch, photography, different instruments. You will see that how we will be able to apply these instruments. So for example, here, as you can see, this window is more like for layering. So as you can see, different layers here, you'll be able to achieve them and to work with them when you start to see these different, start to create different layers, because Photoshop is layer-based application, and there, like each layer is not connected to another one. In one layer, you can create like whole picture or painting, and it will not affect another one. Besides, if you will want to do it, to do overlays or mixing layers, but in general, here how a layer panel looks like separated. I think here also in our let me see what kind of other elements I have. For titles, yes, like there we have like special another one, another panel only just for using and creating, changing some titles. There you'll be able to work, especially at the period when we will start to work with poster assignment. There you will be able to change, to create some interesting titles, some effects on it, and so on and so on. What else? So here is from Lightroom panel, and here like again some masking elements, some color changing, and so on. So we have it all in different versions of Photoshop. For example, in the newest one, Photoshop 25, version 25, we have AI tools that we can use. Again, we will try to create something on our practice courses. But because we have licenses in our university, official licenses, we can use this image creation, AI generation in our Photoshop system. Okay, there's for Photoshop. I think that's it. But mostly we will do like about 3 or 4 assignments in specifically Photoshop. Again, posters, retouching, some imagery creation, because Photoshop is mostly like universal program. At some point, like for DJ, probably we will start to create some covers, magazine covers, gazette paper, newspaper covers. We'll try to make something more related to your profession rather than for media. We will again try to create posters. Depend on it's more close to media projects rather than digital journalism. So okay, I think that's it based on our Photoshop lecture. Basically, in terms of computer graphics and visual effects, if we talk about program application that gives us all of the elements that we'll be able to work with still image, it's Photoshop is one of the best instruments right now. Actually, it's like depend on for web, for printing, for painting, for illustration. So right now, these instruments are most advanced. Of course, you can use AI, you can use different tools, mobile version tools, but Photoshop is like industry standard, industry top for image manipulation and image creation. And again, because they including some AI tools, some design tools, for sure, uh, working with these applications, with these programs is easier and easier and better. Like again, depend on experience. We will discuss with you like Figma on our practice courses, but Figma for sure at some point is very good for UX UI designers, for comics creators, because it has some more advanced and usable tools, but still Adobe bought Figma on the stage of startup, and right now, like again, even Figma is part of Adobe ecosystem. So basically, why we not working in Figma? Because you have your UX UI design course separately, but also because we will focus mostly not on user experience, user interface, but computer graphics and visual effects from the perspective of digital journalism and media technologies. So here is our lecture based on Photoshop, on the topic of application, how we can work, how we can do image manipulation, image retouching through this program. Okay, that's it. And see you later. See you on our practice courses. And goodbye. And that's it for our lecture.